There's the next president. This is me. Now we get to the other stuff that I promised you about. December 5th on this program. I think they are more concerned, our consultants, with holding the House and winning the Senate. I think they believe deep down in the depths of their soul that Obama can't be beat. I think that they look at Mitt Romney as the single only hope we have of taking the Senate, even if he loses the presidential race. They're looking at Romney not because he can beat Obama, but because he can limit the damage in the Senate and House races, which is what they really want. I do believe that in some cases, and I'm not prepared to name names right now, I do believe in some cases on our side, they would rather Obama win than a full-throated conservative beat him. Because they don't control the conservative, they don't control the Tea Party, they don't control where that victorious conservative candidate would come from. That's the statement about the Republican establishment. That's December the 5th, and I first postulated this theory on November 10th of last year. Here we go. Saturday night, MSNBC's special coverage of the South Carolina, Rachel Maddow had as one of her guests Steve Schmidt, McCain's campaign manager. You know, I have a logical question, but I must tell you, I've got nothing against Steve Schmidt. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've had a couple email back and forths during the 2008 campaign. But I don't, this is so hard to say. What do people who ran losing campaigns have to offer? It's like, why would Romney openly put McCain on stage with him in New Hampshire, which he had in the tank anyway? I mean, that was favorite son, supposed to win New Hampshire easily. Nothing could have stopped it. Why put the 2008 loser and somebody that you know the Republican base does not like? Why put him front and center on stage with you, endorsing you? Would somebody explain the thinking? I've never understood. Bob Schrum is a constant guest. He's never won a presidential race for any candidate that hired him. He's up there as an expert. It would be like having somebody in last place in prime time tell you how to finish first. McCain is a symbol to Romney. McCain is a symbol to... Well, okay, all right. You really think, if that's true, then they're dumber than I thought. Snerdley just told me that the reason that they put McCain up there to endorse Romney is to basically jam it down our throats. You think that that was a method, that Romney getting McCain up there to endorse him was the Republican base saying to us, you. That's... Okay. The theory is that you put McCain up there to endorse Romney because you're sending a message to the independents. See, we're the reasonable ones. We're the ones who will bend over, grab the ankles, and work with you. Well, if that's true, then I'm even more right about why the base is doing what they're doing in these primaries. I'm even more right than I knew, if that's right. Anyway, I don't mean any of this to be insulting. I'm asking just from a business standpoint, why would you have a coach who has lost every Super Bowl he's been in as an analyst to tell you how to do it? At any rate, here's Schmidt. He's a nice guy. Don't misunderstand, but the guy allowed myself to get off point. Rachel Maddow said to Steve Schmidt, put yourself in the Republicans. Oh, well, here's the answer. Okay. I should have read the question. He's from the establishment. That's why they wanted him. Okay. Put yourself in the Republican establishment shoes, Steve. What's the panic button that you hit if you're really freaked out that Newt is going to get this nomination now?
We're probably moving towards a declaration of war on Newt Gingrich by the Republican establishment. And if Newt Gingrich is able to win the Florida primary, you will see a panic and a meltdown of the Republican establishment that is beyond my ability to articulate in the English language. People will go crazy.
He's right. He's exactly right about that. It's already happening. It is already happening. That was the point of my monologue in the first hour of the program. There already is that panic. They're already trying to get Mitch Daniels, calls renew for Mitch Daniels to enter presidential race, an online petition called Run Mitch Run, launched at 8 o'clock Saturday night, shortly after Newt was declared the winner. Over 1,000 people have signed it so far. 1,000 people, that's big. 1,000 people signed an online petition since 8 o'clock Saturday night. Big whoop. Okay, so then, let's see, who's the next? Maddow said, okay, is there a component of that which is building a firewall around Romney, protecting him? We saw the establishment try to do that. Romney helping, saying, you can't talk any smack about Bain. Bain's what I want to run on. It has to be positive. Don't undercut that at all. Which to me was like flashing red neon arrow. Here's my glass jaw. Please don't hit it. Is there a way to protect Romney other than this wrong approach they've taken on Bain?
Newt Gingrich has 100% name ID, has a 60% national unfavorable number, and it's a number that's so high that with the 100% name ID, it's just impossible to come back from. You're not electable in a general election in a 2012 presidential election if your unfavorable numbers are that high. There are 33 House Republicans in districts that Barack Obama won. What is the impact in terms of Republicans being able to keep the House of Representatives in majority control if Newt Gingrich was the nominee of the party? What is the impact in the United States Senate races where Republicans have a great chance of taking majority control of the United States Senate? With Newt Gingrich as the nominee of the party, that is perhaps all up in the air.
See, my point, it's all about the Senate and the House. Is there anything here about beating Obama? Not much. It's all Senate and the House. I told you back in November 10th. Gingrich can't win. He can't get the independents. He just did. He can't get the women. He just did. His negatives, two ways he can't win. There's no way he can win. Romney, who's 9 out of 25, there's our winner. Don't doubt us. Britt Hume. Saturday night, Fox's election coverage had this to say.
Newt Gingrich, 27% favorable, 56% unfavorable. Believe me, Republicans in Congress will be terrified to run with this man for fear they will lose the House and the Senate. They will begin to do what they can to try to defeat him because they fear he can't win the election, and moreover, he may drag many of them down to defeat with him.
Inside the Beltway conventional wisdom, folks. Newt can't win. They'll lose the House and the Senate. It's a bloodbath. It's over. This is the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's a full-fledged panic. Didn't the establishment say they wanted Mitch Daniels back last summer because Romney wasn't exciting enough? They wanted Mitch Daniels. That's who they really wanted. They really wanted Mitch Daniels. But everybody knew he wasn't going to run because his wife didn't want any part of it. We knew this last spring. Back on May 9th, 2011, on this show, I said this, quoting the Washington Post. There's a blog published by Chris Cillizza. It's obvious both Republican Washington insiders as well as Democrat power brokers want the nominee to be Mitch Daniels. What were Hillary's negative numbers in 2008? Weren't they pretty high? Did the Democrat elites try to take her out? Well, some did. Some did, because there were some Democrat elites who didn't like the Clintons and didn't want to be beholden to the Clintons. This intrigue goes on in both parties. Always has. Party establishments are what they are. But you can see, I'm just playing sound bites here to confirm for you that I knew what I was talking about back in November. Mitt Romney is there to save the House and win the Senate. And Newt, oh, God, no. Oh, there's absolute panic because they lose the House and don't control the Senate. They lose their chance to be in charge of the money. Here's another Republican consultant, Mike Murphy. This is on Meet the Press Sunday. David Gregory, the Obama acolyte, said, you think Romney should triangulate, go more to the middle, even for the rest of the primaries? Why and how?
Well, after he's got it locked, the Newt message is Democrats win the House, we lose the Senate in a general election. It would be a train wreck. Romney can't be contaminated by that either. It's a very tough course for him.
There you have it. Murphy is a Republican consultant. He's one of the guys that goes out and tells candidates, elect me, I can tell you how to win the independents. That's my job. I'm better at it than anybody else. I'll get you the 20% of the moderates and the independents. There you hear it. Yeah, he was with McCain. Yeah. He's the guy who said, all right, fine, you think Christine O'Donnell, I'll sit here and sip my cocktail. Go ahead. You think you can tell her to win? You go ahead and do it. I'll sit here in Georgetown and sip my cocktail, just like you think I'm doing. That's, well, after, but Romney should go more to the middle for the rest of the primaries. That's the advice. Go more to, that's why Romney's, I know. If he goes to the middle, he's going to. That's what they tried to do to get into nomination. My point is they tried to get Romney to win as a moderate in the primaries, not as a conservative. That's where all was blown. Their whole theory and strategy was as many conservatives in the primaries as possible, split the conservative vote. Romney wins by default. And that's all blown up. So here's Murphy. The Newt message is Democrats win the House back. We lose the Senate. It'd be a train wreck. I'm just playing these bites because I warned you people. I told you back in November. That's what this was all about. No, I'm just trying to get you to know who your party is. That's all. That's it. Pure Insight. I got to take a break. Be back in a minute.